Welcome, friends. I'm Yvonne Davis, and we're going to talk about the Trump trial and beyond in this video. So if you're new to my channel or haven't yet subscribed, please just click on that red button down there and subscribe to my channel. Also, please ring the bell because it has been pretty obvious that not everyone is getting notified of these videos, and I know you really love these videos, so please ring the bell. And also, thank you for liking this video and sharing with friends and family and on social media. And I have been reading your comments, and I know a lot of you are asking this question about when the trial is ending, because in the news, they've been reporting that it's going to end pretty soon. And so I know a lot of you want to know, well, what does that mean? Okay, so that's what I'm going to address in this video. So that's the first thing I want to say is that this is the reporting that it's going to end fairly soon, and it looks like he's going to be acquitted, which is very disappointing, but kind of knew that that was probably the likely outcome. So let me pull up the first chart. All right, we're going to start with February 17th. Okay, so the first thing I want to say is that I made 3 videos on the impeachment. So if you haven't seen them or you want to go back, I'll like put links above and at the end of the video. I can also post the links in the description box below and pin at the top of the comments. And you can always go to my front page. All 3 of them are there, plus this one. And I did say in those videos that the first week when the trial began, it would appear to go in Trump's direction, in his favor, okay? That is definitely playing out to be true. I had hoped that it would last longer because of the fact that as we move forward in time, the alignments get worse and worse and worse for Trump, okay? So it is actually playing out the way I said. This first week of the trial, things appear to be going in his favor. And based on the time frame when they think that the trial will actually end and the vote will take place, it looks like he will probably be acquitted, okay? And that is definitely tracking with the alignments because of the fact that he still has Jupiter, Venus, and the Sun in Aquarius by the time we reach the Uranus square to Saturn, which is February 17th. And what's happening with these planets, by the way, these are the 3 benefic planets. Jupiter is the absolute best planet in the entire zodiac. Venus is the second best planet in the entire zodiac, and the Sun is the 3rd. So yes, he has support. You know, it's just a fact. You know, the astrology doesn't lie. And it's trining his Jupiter down here in his 3rd house. And it's trining Uranus up here in his 11th house. 11th house and the 7th house are relationship houses. So he's getting the benefit of that support. And the 3rd house is everything related to communication, which includes the trial and the voting. The 9th house would also be a house that would be impacted because it rules politics and law. So it's the planets are just working in his favor. There's no getting around it, unfortunately. But that doesn't mean this is over. And I also said, if you go back and look at those 3 impeachment videos, I also said that he will be censured in the broadest sense of the word. I may have talked about this in the bankruptcy video as well. So you can look at the past 3 impeachment, or you can go back and look at the bankruptcy, and you'll see that the direction that the alignments are moving in are going to absolutely get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse for Trump, okay? So regardless of the failure to convict him in the trial, which we all knew was probably going to be the outcome anyway, he will still be censured in the broadest sense of the word. And it may actually be that he will be censured in the legal sense of the word, meaning that after the trial is over, after the vote's taken, assuming he gets acquitted, that the Democrats may take it upon themselves to censure him with a resolution that would pass because they only need a simple majority, and they have that in both the House and the Senate. So I'm suspecting that will be the next step, is that they will write up a resolution to censure him, and that will pass in a vote. So that would be a legal censuring. But like I said, it's all about censuring in the broadest sense of the word, which would mean that you put limits on someone, okay? And that's what they do in this. If they pass this resolution to censure him, they would make it impossible for him to run for federal office again, or to hold federal office. So now it may be that, you know, he could try to take it to the Supreme Court, but I'm going to explain why he's never going to be president again. Okay. Now, if we ever do get a Republican president, then there's a question of, could he hold some other office, but, you know, like an appointed office or something like that. But the thing about it is, you know, Trump, he doesn't want anything less than the top position. You know, he only wants to be president of the United States. So he's not going to care about anything else. He only wants to be president of the United States. So, you know, and I'm telling you that it doesn't even matter whether he's acquitted or not. It doesn't even matter whether they do a legal censoring. He's never going to be president again. And there are so many reasons for that. And, you know, we can talk about the astrological alignments that point to the fact that he's never going to be president again, or we can just look at, you know, the facts as they stand today. You know, it doesn't even matter if they acquit him. It doesn't even matter if they legally censure him from holding federal office again. He will never be president again. He destroyed his political career. No one will ever back Trump to run for president again, no matter what he thinks, no matter what kind of insanity he's living in, you know, some kind of alternate reality where he thinks he can be president again. It's never going to happen. Never. And there are so many reasons, but one just basic reason is no one will ever financially back him to run for president again. It's just not going to happen. I don't even need to stack on all the other reasons. You know, it's just never going to happen. You know, I mean, it feels so obvious to me. You know, I rarely make predictions, because when I make a prediction, I need to feel that I've reached like a knowing inside me that I feel is 100%. And this is a prediction. This is 100%. He will never, ever, ever be president again. And we don't have to worry about any other position, because he doesn't want any other positions. So that's it. His political career is over. Okay. Now, there may be other questions that we want to look at, such as, will he, you know, these other ongoing and coming legal cases and criminal cases related to, for example, the issuing in Georgia, his fraudulent election, or his election fraud behavior in Georgia, which I'm actually going to click, I'm going to put a link below to a video I just watched on CNN where they were talking about the fact that, you know, Georgia is preparing to bring charges against him. I don't know the exact state of that, if they've actually done it yet, if they're just investigating it, if they're preparing it, if they're planning to do it. But I don't see why they would, you know, why would they make that public knowledge and then not go through with it? That wouldn't make any sense to me. So I think that's pretty much a fait accompli, that they are going to press charges against him. And then the question is, you know, how far will that go? Will they succeed? If they do succeed in convicting him of election fraud in Georgia, then what kind of penalties will they be? The chances of Donald Trump ever going to jail are extremely low, but that doesn't mean that there aren't other repercussions beyond prison, such as bankruptcy, which I did talk about, such as his wife divorcing him, which I would not be surprised if that eventually happens, because it's clear she has no interest in him beyond his money. And so, you know, if she gets a better offer, I'm sure she would take it. All right, so getting to the alignments on February 17th, we have a Uranus square Saturn. And so I just wanted to lay that out, that you don't need to worry about whether or not he's going to get acquitted. You don't need to worry about whether or not how long the trial is going to last. We just have to accept the fact that he's probably going to get acquitted. I mean, the chances of him getting convicted are so incredibly slim. It's best if we just face the truth, face reality. It's very unlikely that that's going to happen. So we just need to accept he will get acquitted. But like I said, then there's other things coming. There's a potential resolution to censure him. There is the election fraud case in Georgia. There are all these other cases that could be legal cases of fraud and felonies and criminal cases, and then, you know, the financial cases, you know, all the other stuff that we had talked about over the past few years around money laundering and other kinds of financial frauds. And, you know, there may be still cases in New York that are ongoing. And so even if he never ends up in jail, I mean, basically he's going to be, his finances are just going to be drained, you know, to the point where who knows what he can do. I mean, I don't know what it's like to be that rich, and, you know, if you end up truly destitute, or if you still have a decent life, even though you filed bankruptcy, but it's still a big deal because, you know, I think anybody who is facing bankruptcy and debts owed and court cases and all of these things, when your marketability is going way, way down, you know, like I said, his political career is over, even though the Republicans are still terrified and don't want to stand up to him because, you know, there's still apparently a large enough block of people to make a difference in their minds. So they're terrified of standing up against Trump. That's not going to last. And I'm going to show you astrologically why that's not going to last. And I said many, many times, you know, certainly in this past year, that there was going to be a divorce in the Republican Party. And you're already seeing it happen. There's already this ripping that's occurring in the Republican Party, just ripping it apart, because that's what divorce does, you know, and that's already starting, and it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. But anyway, Trump's political career is over. You don't have to worry about that. It's over. He's going to lose more and more of his political power, even on the sidelines. You know, people aren't going to want his endorsements. Why would you want the endorsement of a man who was impeached twice and incited an insurrection? They know he incited the insurrection, even if the Republicans acquit him. They know he incited the insurrection. They're not stupid. Who would ever want to associate themselves with a man like that? You know, they're just scared of that 30% that's still rabidly pro-Trump. But eventually, you know, it's just, he's going to fade away. And I'll show you astrologically why that's true. And then, of course, you know, his finances are going to get drained to the point where he'll have to file bankruptcy. And nobody's going to want to loan him money or donate money to him or anything. So it's over for him. Okay, so what we see with the Saturn square to Uranus at 7 degrees 14 minutes of Aquarius and Taurus, alignments like this, where you have these outer planets that are squaring, don't always occur on the day that they actually square. But I think that actually we will see it very close to the 17th, possibly even on the 17th, for a number of reasons. One is because of the fact that the moon is conjunct Uranus and squaring Saturn. The moon activates things, okay? So that's really important. Mars is squaring Venus. So that's really important because they're inner planets. The sun has reached 29 degrees. As I've told you many, many times, that's a critical degree. Mercury is going to go direct in 3 days. So it's almost at this point stationary direct. It's changing directions. That makes it more powerful in its conjunction to Saturn. So all of the inner planets, Mercury, Venus, Mars, plus the sun and the moon are all activated at this time. So I think we may actually see something on February 17th or very close to it. And then, of course, Mercury does actually station direct on the 20th, 3 days later. So, yeah, I think we're definitely going to see something get activated. The square of Venus to Mars hasn't even actually happened yet. It's not exact yet because, I mean, it's there. You can see it. Venus at 20 degrees of Aquarius and Mars at 21 degrees of Taurus. But Venus moves faster than Mars, so she's catching up to make that square, okay? And could make it even on the 17th. If not the 17th, then probably on the 18th, or very soon, very close to that time when Mercury changes directions. So all these things are happening at the same time, plus Pluto in an exact opposition to Venus, which again will happen probably on the 17th or 18th. So all of these things are happening in a very short period of time. So I definitely think we'll see something important happening around the 17th to the 20th. And we'll get some more information, even though, you know, we expect him to be acquitted. There are other things coming that will, the underlying karma has not fully worked itself out. It's coming, okay? And we know that because Pluto is a karmic planet and it's moving into opposition to his Venus in the 12th house of endings and losses and secrets. So these can be secrets revealed because Pluto reveals corruption. So there's still something really important going on there. And also, as we move forward in time, all of these benefic planets are going to move out of his 7th house. The sun will move out, Venus will move out, Mercury will move out, and then eventually Jupiter will move out on May 13th. So all of the planets will be out by May 13th except Saturn. Saturn will be the only planet left in his 7th house. So trust that, you know, keep these time frames in mind. The time frames that I'm talking about here in late February, the ones I talked about in March, which is March 3rd and March 16th. We'll look at those dates again, not in this video, but in future videos. But those are still important dates where important things are going to happen that will be contrary to Trump, not in his favor. And then by May 13th, when Jupiter moves out, the only planet that will be left will be Saturn. And Saturn will not be helpful to him in his 7th house. No way. And plus the fact that Saturn is going to square Uranus 2 more times after the 17th of February. So things are definitely going to get way, 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 way worse for him. So just let go of this trial. We always knew that the chances of him getting convicted were slim. Let's just accept that and move on to the other things that are coming. Because believe me, it's going to get a hell of a lot worse for him. A hell of a lot worse. All right, so I'm going to bring it to a close now. Check out all the links, you know, like I said, some above at the end of this video, down below and pinned to the top of the comments, and or go to the front page of my YouTube channel and you can take another look at the 3 videos I did on impeachment, because those dates are important. It doesn't matter about the trial. It matters what happens on those days. They will bring something that is very unpleasant for Trump. So keep that in mind. And I will see you again in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.